Stephen A., I want to ask you this. Where do they rank all-time amongst the best duos in the NBA?
4th or 5th.
Okay.
That's my initial response. I reserve the right to change it for better or worse. Let's see. Listen where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Automatically, MJ, Pippen. Automatically. Okay? Then obviously you've got Magic, Kareem. Okay? Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
All right? Those 3 automatically.
Okay.
Are y'all ready for this? And I'm going to take a lot of heat for this, but I'm going to say it. We might have to give the 4th nod to Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. We might have to do that.
Yeah.
Right now, they got just as many rings together as D-Wade and LeBron. If KD stays in Golden State, they might have as many consecutive trips to the finals as LeBron and D-Wade. By the end of this season, they might have more chips than LeBron and D-Wade did together. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm trying to. The 3 are the automatic 3.
The 3 are
the 3 are the automatic.
Undebatable.
I'm not even going there. But that 4th, I can't rule out Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. I just can't do it.
Let me tell you this.
I can't do it.
Let me tell you this.
And I love me some D-Wade. You know that.
I'm not sure the debate is at 4, to be honest, because I think you're forgetting a couple. One, old school, but always has to remember, is Cousy and Bill Russell. What, just too old for you? I mean, you're the oldest person on set.
Yeah, you know it is, Will.
You're just so old.
You know what it is, Will? Because of the competition and because I only watched you on tape.
Titles, and more titles.
Well, if that's the case, then there's nothing to talk about with anything with Russell. 11 titles.
But you got to acknowledge history exists. You do have to acknowledge that history exists.
Respect and
especially
reverence.
when you're putting duo long-time.
Respect and reverence, but
okay, but this
Keep
one.
going.
Okay, I don't have to go back as far on this one. All right. How about Tony Parker and Tim Duncan? 4 titles, 5 trips to the finals.
Nope.
What are you factoring in besides winning? You're factoring in who they are as individuals, how great they are as individuals?
Yes, because
I'll give you that.
Sure.
Obviously, on their own, Parker's not as good as D-Wade or
That's
LeBron.
where I was
get
going.
that. But
That's where I was going.
But come on, man, you got to give accomplishment some weight in this.
No. I give him a compliment. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. There's no question. I'm not disrespecting. Yes, I'm not disrespecting Tony Parker, but I don't think about Tony. Tony Parker never had to.
Look, we're talking about duos here, man.
Let me
Who
take
you are together.
I know that, but still in all, because you got to hold your own weight.
Because see, now Pippen doesn't compare to D-Wade and LeBron as an individual.
Oh, excuse me, yes.
As an individual. As an individual.
Let me tell you why. Because let me tell you something. Offensively, he could give you 20 a night, but defensively. Pippen, when you talk about Pippen, you think about Kawhi Leonard.
Do you have Pippen ranked ahead of D-Wade in all-time list as individuals?
No.
Okay, then I think my point.
But he's
right. I think my point stands.
But he's an all-time 50th player.
It's who they are together. That's what we're talking about here. Let's go back to Golden State for 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
I just don't know that you can say Steph and KD because the true duo that started that was Steph and Clay. And that one won by themselves and has continued to win adding KD. How do you parse out a duo from that thing right now?
Well, let me tell you why. Because they're on the same team, and I'm looking at KD and Steph Curry, and their individual abilities as marksmen. They're so surreal. They're so special. Let me tell you something right now. Do you know, like, for example, it was fitting that as great as of a career as D-Wade had last night, he was 0 for 7 from three-point range. It was fitting because that's never been a strength of his. Could you imagine, just sit back for 1 second, Will Cain. Could you imagine if D-Wade had a three-point shot, a consistent 3, oh, my Lord, it wouldn't even be fair. It wouldn't even be fair, okay? Because this dude was on another level without it. So could you imagine what he would have been? I'm looking at Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. I'm talking about 40% better, 40% plus three-point shooters.
Oh, I know.
48, 49% perimeter shooters. 90% shooters from the free throw line. 88 to 92% from the free throw line. The brothers don't miss. They don't miss.
You know, though, when we talk about duos, you talk, not just as who are these two phenomenal individuals on a team, but how do they play together? How do they feed off each other? And the truth is, when you think of KD and Steph right now, do you think of those games meshing perfectly, one setting up the other?
I actually do. It's just that
but
Clay.
Not in the same way you thought about Steph and Clay.
Well, let me tell you.
Right?
No. Well, the Splash Brothers were the Splash Brothers.
Right.
We had not seen anything like that before because they're both backcourt players. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is that you can make a legitimate argument, and we all know how I feel about Klay Thompson. I think he's the real deal, one of the top 5 shooters in NBA history. But you could make a legitimate argument that Klay Thompson actually gets in their way in this particular argument because of being that third wheel. Because without Klay, Kevin and Steph would have to shoot more, and we know what kind of marksmen they are.
We can't use a third wheel against it, though, because then we're going to start talking about Chris Bosh.
Okay.
We're going to start
Stephen A.,
talking
let me
about
ask you
Manu.
this. Number one in defensive rating, these two?
Who?
Wade and LeBron? In terms of tandem?
Jordan and
Jordan
Pippen.
Pippen.
Jordan Pippen.
Okay.
Jordan Pippen can pick you up 94 feet. Jordan and Pippen, I watched them. They went against the Orlando Magic with Shaq, Penny Hardaway, Nick Anderson, 3D, Dennis Scott, and those boys. It got to a point where their brothers was petrified to dribble the ball up the court. I mean, when Phil Jackson put that press on and Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan were on that court picking you up 94 feet, it was something to behold. They could, as great as Jordan was offensively and as formidable as Pippen was, they could shut you down individually on the defensive end of the floor and in tandem. They were unreal.
The top three is undebatable.
Undebatable.
Undebatable.